Welcome to today's history. It's May 11th, and the timeline is packed with events that shaped our world. From ancient empires rising to tech revolutions and musical legends, this date has it all. Whether you're a history buff or just curious about the past, buckle up, we're diving into the stories that made May 11th unforgettable. Chapter 1. Constantinople. A new capital is born. 330. On May 11th, 330 AD, Roman Emperor Constantine the Great officially dedicated the city of Byzantium as the new capital of the Roman Empire, renaming it Nova Roma, or New Rome. The city would later be known as Constantinople. This wasn't just a symbolic change. It marked a massive shift in power from the old Roman West to the rising East. Strategically positioned between Europe and Asia, Constantinople would go on to become one of the most important cities in history, the heart of the Byzantine Empire, and a bastion of Christianity for centuries. Its walls withstood sieges, its culture influenced generations, and its legacy still echoes today. Now known as Istanbul, the city continues to be a vibrant bridge between continents and cultures. Chapter 2. The Diamond Sutra, world's oldest printed book. 868. On May 11th in the year 868 AD, a Buddhist scripture known as the Diamond Sutra was printed in China during the Tang dynasty. This wasn't just any book, it's the oldest known printed book in the world, produced using woodblock printing nearly 600 years before Gutenberg revolutionized printing in Europe. The Diamond Sutra wasn't mass-produced like modern books, but it was still a technological marvel of its time. The text itself, a dialogue between the Buddha and his disciple Subhuti, teaches about the nature of perception and reality. But beyond its spiritual content, this printing represents a turning point in human communication, a moment when the written word began its journey toward wide accessibility. It shows us that long before the printing press in the West, knowledge and faith were already being spread page by page in the East. Chapter 3. The Birth of the Siamese Twins. 1811. On May 11th, 1811, twin brothers Chang and Imji Bunker were born in Siam, what we now know as Thailand. Joined at the chest by a band of cartilage and a shared liver, the two would later become internationally famous as the original Siamese twins, a term that originated from their unique condition. Despite the physical challenges they faced, their story is one of adaptability, determination, and fame. In the 1820s, they were discovered by a British merchant and brought to the West, where they toured across America and Europe, showcasing their abilities and defying expectations. Far from being passive curiosities, they took control of their careers, managing their own exhibitions and finances. Eventually, they settled in North Carolina, married 2 sisters, bought land, and even became slave owners, a complex and often overlooked part of their legacy. Together, they fathered 21 children and lived a surprisingly independent and full life, becoming symbols of both human resilience and the complicated history of spectacle in the 19th century. Chapter 4. The only British Prime Minister assassinated. 1812. May 11th, 1812, a date that stunned the British Empire. On this day, Prime Minister Spencer Perceval was assassinated in the lobby of the House of Commons, becoming to this day the only British Prime Minister ever killed in office. As he entered the chamber, a man named John Bellingham stepped forward and shot him in the chest at point-blank range. Perceval collapsed and died almost instantly. The assassin wasn't part of any conspiracy or revolutionary plot. He was a disgruntled businessman who believed the government had wronged him and denied him justice. While Bellingham was quickly arrested and executed, the shock of the event rippled through the nation. The assassination exposed the vulnerability of public officials and raised concerns about the emotional toll of unaddressed grievances in society. It also forced the government to reevaluate security and leadership succession at a time when Britain was already navigating the turmoil of the Napoleonic Wars. Chapter 5. The Birth of Mercedes-Benz. 1924. On May 11th, 1924, 2 titans of automotive innovation, Daimler Motor and Gesellschaft and Benz and CIA, agreed to merge, giving birth to one of the most iconic car brands in history, Mercedes-Benz. This partnership wasn't just about business, it was the fusion of 2 legacies. Carl Benz had built the world's first gasoline-powered automobile in 1886, while Gottlieb Daimler had pioneered the high-speed internal combustion engine. By joining forces, they laid the foundation for a brand that would come to symbolize German engineering, precision, and luxury. The name Mercedes came from a car model named after the daughter of an early business partner, and Benz honored the legacy of the automobile's inventor. From sleek sedans and powerful engines to innovations in safety and design, Mercedes-Benz's journey began on this day, and it's still setting the standard nearly a century later. Chapter 6. Hollywood Gets Its Academy. 1927. On May 11, 1927, the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences was officially founded in Los Angeles, California. Created by a group of 36 influential figures in the film industry, including studio executives, directors, writers, and actors, the Academy aimed to promote collaboration and elevate filmmaking to a recognized art form. But what it became known for above all else is the Oscars, the world's most prestigious film awards. The first Academy Awards ceremony was held 2 years later in 1929 and has since grown into a global celebration of cinema. Over the decades, the Academy has shaped the evolution of film, honoring the pioneers of silent movies, the golden age of Hollywood, and the visionary creators of modern cinema. From timeless classics to groundbreaking storytelling, the Academy's influence can be felt in every frame of film history, and it all began on this day. Chapter 7. Israel joins the United Nations. 1949. On May 11, 1949, just 1 year after its declaration of independence, the State of Israel was officially admitted as the 59th member of the United Nations. This was a critical moment for the fledgling nation, which had emerged from the ashes of World War II and the Holocaust, and was immediately thrust into regional conflict. Joining the UN provided Israel with a platform for international legitimacy and diplomacy, but it also marked the beginning of decades of complex geopolitics in the Middle East. The admission vote was not unanimous and highlighted early tensions between global powers over the region. Still, Israel's acceptance into the international community underscored the post-war reshaping of world politics, and its membership remains a pivotal point in the ongoing narrative of modern statehood and international relations. Chapter 8. The Death of Bob Marley. 1981. On May 11, 1981, the world lost one of its most influential musical voices, Bob Marley. At just 36 years old, Marley passed away after a battle with cancer. But in his short life, he managed to revolutionize music and culture on a global scale. As the face of reggae and Rastafarianism, Marley used his platform to promote messages of peace, unity, resistance, and social justice. His songs like One Love, Get Up, Stand Up, and Redemption Song became anthems for generations and movements around the world. More than just a musician, Marley was a cultural ambassador for Jamaica and a symbol of spiritual resilience. Even today, decades after his death, his music continues to inspire, heal, and ignite the spirit of freedom in millions across the globe. Chapter 9. Man vs. Machine. Deep Blue beats Kasparov. 1997. On May 11, 1997, the world witnessed a major turning point in the relationship between man and machine. IBM supercomputer Deep Blue defeated Garry Kasparov, the reigning world chess champion, in a 6-game match under standard tournament conditions. This wasn't just about chess. It was a bold signal that artificial intelligence was catching up to human intelligence in complex decision-making. Kasparov, a grandmaster known for his strategic brilliance, had previously beaten Deep Blue, but after its upgrade, the machine fought back and won. The event stunned the world and sparked debates about the future of AI, human intellect, and whether machines could one day surpass their creators. It was a glimpse into the digital future, and May 11th marked the day that glimpse became reality. Chapter 10. David Cameron becomes Prime Minister. 2010. On May 11, 2010, David Cameron took office as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, leading a coalition government between the Conservatives and Liberal Democrats. At just 43 years old, he became the youngest British Prime Minister in nearly 200 years. His leadership would oversee major national events, most notably the Brexit referendum that redefined Britain's relationship with the European Union. Cameron's rise marked a shift toward a new generation of political leadership and signaled a turbulent decade ahead for British politics. Chapter 11. The Istanbul Convention is signed. 2011. On May 11, 2011, the Istanbul Convention was signed in, you guessed it, Istanbul, Turkey. This groundbreaking treaty aimed to combat violence against women and domestic abuse across Europe. It established legal frameworks to protect victims, prosecute offenders, and prevent future abuse. Though it sparked political debates in some countries, its signing marked a major milestone in the global fight for gender equality and human rights. The Istanbul Convention remains a powerful symbol of international solidarity for women's safety, From ancient capitals and spiritual texts to assassinations, music legends, and political milestones, May 11th has proven to be a day of transformation and legacy. These events remind us that history isn't just about the past. It shapes the world we live in today. If you enjoyed this journey through time, don't forget to like the video, drop a comment, and subscribe for more daily moments in history. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that define our world. Until then, stay curious and stay inspired.